This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
If the boss is always in meetings, everybody is always in meetings. If the boss calls on customers, customers become important. If the boss blows off customer appointments, the sales force makes fewer sales calls. If the boss is polite, rude people don't last. If the boss accepts mediocrity, mediocrity is what she gets. If the boss is innovative and inventive, the company looks for opportunities. If the boss does everyone's job, the employees will let him. If the boss gives everyone in the organization a World Series ring, then everyone wants to win the World Series. If the boss leads a charge, the good and able employees will be a step behind. Great bosses understand this phenomenon. Great bosses position the organization to succeed, not with policies, but with posture and presence. If the great boss wants a policy of traveling on Sunday, or practice before presentations, he or she travels on Sunday and practices presentations. If the boss doesn't want little snowstorms to make people late to the office, he gets in early the day of the storm and makes the coffee, and serves coffee to the stragglers as they arrive. Some bosses lead purposefully, others innately. Whether intentional or not, the great boss shapes the organization. Because the company does what the boss does, the boss better perform, or the company won't. Chapter 4. The customer is the real boss. It is the customer's money that funds paychecks, bonuses, health insurance, taxes, and everything else. Because it is the customer who pays the employees, then the employees, all employees, including the boss, work for the customer. Therefore, every single job in a company must be designed to get or keep customers, without exception. If there is a job that does not directly or indirectly get or keep a customer, that job is redundant and should be eliminated or outsourced. The boss incessantly reminds everyone that they work for the customer. A responsibility of the great boss is to teach the employees how to get and keep customers. The boss works constantly to remove barriers that stand between the company and the customer. The great boss works constantly to unfetter employees from corporate requirements that hinder the getting and keeping of customers. The great boss reduces sales force reporting so that the salespeople can sell. The great boss reduces manufacturing bottlenecks so that the production people can produce quality products on time. The fact that every employee works for the customer is a simple notion, but surprisingly difficult for some people to completely grasp. There are some workers who believe they work for a union. Wrong. They belong to a union, but work for the customer who is paying their company. Some public sector employees believe they work for the motor vehicle department, or for the police department, or for the government, or for the Teachers Federation. Wrong. These people work for the citizens whose taxes fund the paychecks. The citizens, the subway riders, the students, and the students' parents are the paying customers. Some people believe they work for the marketing department, for XYZ Incorporated, for the charismatic boss, for themselves, for a charity, for the church. But no customers, no money. No money, no mission. No money, no ministry. No money, no military. No money, no managers. No bosses. The customer is the real boss, and the dissatisfied customer fires employees every day. Chapter 5. Groom 'em or Broom 'em. One of the biggest macro problems in business is that environments change and companies do not. If companies don't properly adapt to changing business environments, they will be eclipsed by competitors, get acquired, or go out of business. This is also true for employees. If employees don't change and adapt, then their value to the organization dwindles. If the employee's value declines below his or her total cost to the organization, that is, their compensation, benefits, 401k, insurance, his or her employment status will change. Great companies and great bosses are constantly training, teaching, improving, and growing their employees. You must groom people for new challenges. You must groom people to do more, to do the job better, to support you, to succeed you. If you can't groom 'em, broom 'em. If an employee can't or won't generate a positive return on all the investment made in the employee, then the employee must go. The great boss has 3 employee options: groom 'em, broom 'em, or do nothing and watch as mediocrity becomes the standard and inadequate performers hurt the company. If the people you supervise are not helping the company, they are not helping you. If one person you supervise is hurting the company in any way, that person is hurting you. There are any number of reasons, justified or not, that make it impossible for the boss to groom an employee. If so, then let the employee leave on his own, or the boss must broom him. If you hire or inherit able people, and you groom them, you won't have to broom them. Groom, broom, and watch your company zoom. Chapter 6. The new broom need not sweep clean. Often high-performance bosses are hired or promoted or assigned to a problem area in an organization. They are encouraged to shake things up, whip the place into shape, get the people off dead center, and other cliches. Sometimes the new boss is given a hit list of people thought to be underperformers or malcontents. The new boss might have a bias that the people he or she is inheriting are the problem. But the people may not be the problem. In most cases, if not all, the people are dedicated, smart, hardworking. The problem most likely lies elsewhere. The former boss might have been a demotivator. Competition may have strengthened. The markets may have changed. The product line may be aging. In fact, the new boss will likely find that people are full of ideas, facts, answers, and suggestions. The careful boss listens and observes before making any decisions about people. The great boss does not make snap judgments about anyone. There may be one, or a few, employees who won't fit into the new way of doing things, but the new boss makes the people decisions, not someone else. One such boss was put into a position rife with perceived people problems. As a new boss, he was asked to take over the customer service department. He was told the customer service reps were marginal employees, had poor work habits, and made mistake after mistake. He was told to fire one of the supervisors. He got the personnel files for everyone in the department. The personnel files included years of written reviews on each person. The new boss was astonished to find that review after review had the same pattern: 2 or 3 sentences of praise, followed by paragraphs of blunt, harsh criticism, much of which it seemed to the new boss were on petty and trivial issues. Each review was signed by the prior manager of the customer service department. Each review was also signed by the reviewed employee. Each review had the initials of the vice president of the division and the initials of someone from the human resource department. The new boss shredded every review in the personnel files. The only documents that remained were the employees' hiring forms, social security numbers, and personal information. The next day, the new boss held a department meeting. He announced that the personnel files had been purged. 2 feet of files were now 2 inches. As far as I am concerned, the new boss announced, each of you is a brand new employee with in-depth professional customer service experience. Show this company what you can do. The employees applauded. The director of human resources went berserk. You have destroyed company property. I will have to report this, admonished the HR director. Better to destroy destructive documents than to destroy good people, the new boss rejoined. Within months, the customer service department was the jewel of the division. The supervisor the new boss was supposed to fire became a superstar. Customers and salespeople sang the department's praise. The new boss was promoted several times, each time to effect positive change. The new boss took his broom, but rarely took it out of the broom closet. Chapter 7. Mediocrity is malevolent. Mediocrity is an insidious disease that saps the vitality, innovation, and energy of any organization. Once mediocrity infects an organization, it is extremely difficult to cure. Mediocrity becomes the performance standard. It becomes acceptable. Mediocrity, if allowed, if accepted, if rewarded, if unpunished, infects even the best people. If the boss allows mediocrity, the boss